Ah, yes. Sushi. You know, the highly controversial cuisine here over in America is a Japanese import, generally made by Chinese people here in America. But I didn't know this, but apparently a new sushi counter in New York is the worst thing to ever happen after a woke chef, Eric Rivera, I'm sorry, not Eric Rivera. After a woke chef calls the owner a colonizer. An up and coming Australian sushi restaurant in New York City. By the way, this is via the Publica, which I will link in the description below. An up and coming Australian sushi restaurant in New York City. Why is it Australian then? It's just in New York. Found itself on the receiving end of a woke mob after activist chef labeled them as colonizers. Apparently, white people can't make sushi, but I'm pretty sure most of the sushi made out here in the Midwest is from Chinese people. Sushi Counter opened up its doors in the Big Apple earlier this month, with the store owner stating her purpose was to bring affordable Australian-style hand rolls to the notoriously expensive city. Sushi Counter, which offers a small menu at fixed prices, recently launched a TikTok channel documenting its opening process for customers. But on October 20th, Chef Eric Rivera uploaded one of the TikToks in a thread to X, formerly Twitter, mocking Sushi Counter and labeling its Australian owner, Alex, a colonizer for preparing Japanese-inspired food as a white woman. What? Rivera's thread, which has since been deleted, resulted in a slew of backlash towards Sushi Counter, with users on Twitter going after Alex's race and business concept. Although the restaurant had previously received a lot of positive attention, with some like Stripe founder Nick Whitaker calling it amazing, a wave of bad reviews manifested on Google shortly after Rivera's thread began circulating online. And just wait, this gets even more hilarious. One reviewer left the restaurant a 1 out of 5 star, wrote, "Enough of the gentrification. The last thing anyone needs are blonde hair Australian white women appropriating Japanese cuisine. We're sick of the disrespect inflicted upon our cultures by white people. Enough is enough." Many other negative reviews described the food at Sushi Counter as gentrified, with some pointing out that because white woman owns the restaurant, it cannot be considered authentic Japanese cuisine. Again, look into who runs most of your Japanese restaurants, at least here in America. There are plenty of good, actually New York too. There are plenty of good authentic sushi spots in the city and prices aren't crazy, said one reviewer. I suggest going to one of those. This is a colonizer sushi spot ran by a woman who thinks she can do better than actual Japanese people. Instead of explaining why they disapprove of the content with several other reviewers, including one who is named P. Poo, opted to leave a 1-star review without content. Sushi Counter soon after scrubbed its TikTok, deleting all the videos it had made vlogging its opening. Days after Rivera began his hate campaign, netizens discovered that he was in fact opening multiple Japanese fusion restaurants of his own in Raleigh, North Carolina. And guess what? He's not Japanese. Sharing screenshots of Rivera's comments, Anna Slatz, co-founder of independent news outlet Redux, said, "The guy launched an all-out hate campaign against a woman for opening an Australian sushi counter to the point that she had to delete all of her TikTok videos and got review brigaded on Google for being a colonizer. Meanwhile, he's opening a Puerto Rican izakaya." People were quick to point out the hypocrisy of Rivera opening his own Japanese-inspired restaurant despite not being Japanese, while also then attacking others for doing the same. Did you expect woke idiots to have any principles? How the F can izakaya be Puerto Rican? It's literally the definition of an effing Japanese bar. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Another miserable and frustrated middle-aged man trying to ruin a woman's business out of jealousy, another user wrote. Others, like Rwandan commentator Sasa Kayindi, condemned cultural appropriation as a concept and pointed out the beauty of cuisines being shared between cultures. Culture, especially food and entertainment, are meant to be shared. Like, it's like gifting everybody something you love. This cultural appropriation thing is the most stupid thing. I agree. Others like journalist Shay Woolahan also called to attention the fact that the most of New Yorkers' restaurant scene is reliant on diverse cuisines and fusion. Saying this is like New York isn't literally known for its terrible version of other cultures' foods. The pizza, the French bakeries on every corner, the Chinese food. After beginning to receive pushback, Rivera deleted his thread on the sushi counter and made a quick work of blocking anyone mentioning he was opening his own Japanese-inspired restaurant. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? So it was never about appropriation. It was about calling the competition, apparently. Posts calling for attention to Rivera's hypocrisy prompted some social media users to leave positive reviews for Sushi Counter in an effort to reverse the damage done by Rivera. Quote, I'm thrilled to announce that Sushi Sheila's NYC restaurant Sushi Counter is now averaging 4.5 stars on Google reviews thanks to you absolute based legends. For those of you who have a job or a life, yesterday, pathetic woke failed chef and huge loser Eric Rivera Cooks bullied her. I want to open the rest of this. And into deleting all of her TikTok posts and causing massive woke mob to give Sushi Counter tons of one-star reviews. And now we look at chef, co-founder of yet another culturally appropriated restaurant, has now protected their tweets. This is how the internet's supposed to work. This is an epic win. All right, people are supposed to BTFO these woke losers. I mean, I just don't even understand what they thought they were going to do. What has previously been brought from a 4.5 to 4.3 as a result of the flood of one-star reviews has since been lifted to 4.8 stars on Google. I mean, it's so insane to me that these idiots even exist. You see, right? There aren't enough good sushi places in NYC, so time to open one. She put as that, and then the video, and then he wrote, "It's Australian sushi. Give me a break, colonizer." Again, this man, Puerto Rican, is opening a Japanese restaurant. Hand rolls. If you don't see why this is a problem, you are part of the problem. Ellen Dusk is here to tell you that it's okay to tell you it's all okay to make sushi anywhere you want, and you should all lighten up. And he knows a ton on crypto, so please be kind and colonize wherever. You can make... I doubt that any Japanese people felt offended that a non-Japanese person was making some sort of sushi. Okay? Many keyboard warriors called Sushi Sheila a colonizer and accused her of a cultural appropriation. I'd like to ask them, do you ever eat or cook food that doesn't specifically align with your race? If not, shut the F up. The best part of this story is that Eric, this is via Dumb B Capital, this story is that Eric Rivera is a hypocrite himself. He's an immigrant from Puerto Rico who's planning to open a Puerto Rico Japanese fusion restaurant. Guess where? North Carolina. Isn't that interesting? Eric Rivera also co-founded Join Beat with his wife, which promises to build community for other chefs and restaurant owners. I wonder why they only raised $0 on their $79,000 goal. You say Beat, join Beat, welcome to Beat, creator for chefs, blah, 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 blah. Okay, they have Indiegogo, they want to make money. 0 backers, and they gave up. Completely gave up. Absolute epic loser of a human being. Absolute epic loser of a human. If you live in NYC and would want to support Sushi Sheila, here's a link to her shop. Her sushi looks fantastic. I don't care for hand rolls myself, but I get why people do like them. And then you see here, I love it here. He ends up getting community noted. It's Australian sushi, give me a break, colonizer. Community note says, this user is implying that there's something unethical about opening an Australian sushi restaurant. He's opening a Puerto Rican izakaya restaurant, which could be construed as breaching the very same ethical lines. Community notes for the win. Shout out to the Vocal Cry for discovering the key point in this case. He then replied, that he was doing the exact same thing, and they deleted the post. I mean, it's absolutely great to see. I don't live in New York. I do like sushi. And it looks like they have 4.3 stars now. I wonder if they are hiding recent Google reviews because of, the vast influx of them. But they remove basically probably most of the negative ones and most of the positive ones. So they're at a 4.3 stars, which is very good. I'm not in New York, but you should definitely check it out. See what's going on with Sushi Counter because, I don't really care who makes my food as long as it's good. In fact, in the Midwest, most of my food is made by Mexicans. Are they not allowed to, or people from in America who are of Mexican descent? Probably. Although, who knows in the restaurant industry? They run Olive Garden, they run KFC, they run the Greek restaurant, they run everything. Is it appropriation for them? No? And you see these articles, is it racist for a white woman to sell sushi? Who would even... This is just proof that we are living in an unimaginably good time. An incredibly good time for society. And good luck to this Sushi Counter owner, and I'm glad that this other loser got BTFO'd. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. The full story is over on thepublica.com. We publish news articles every single day, of course, so make sure you check that out, and we'll talk to you again real soon.